the day off filming yesterday. A, it was raining. It was a miserable day yesterday. And B, Nikki and Deb and I went on a book crawl. There was an antiquarian book sale in Cooperstown. And then we went about an hour south of here, excuse me, to a town called Hobart. And Hobart is a book town. 8 different bookstores, used and antiquarian bookstores. And we all love books in general and old books specifically. So we all went a little overboard yesterday, but it was lovely. It was the perfect way to spend a very rainy day. Today looks like it's going to be a mixed bag. There's an 85% chance of rain, and a lot of it is supposed to start in the next 10 minutes. But I've got these potatoes, and they're even starting to flower a little bit. I've got 2 bales of straw. I want to get them on the potatoes so they hopefully have a little time to add more potatoes to the stems before they give up the ghost. So I'm going to kind of speed run doing that and hopefully beat the rain. Perfect, but it's good enough, especially since I'm so late putting it on. I'm grateful that Nikki came out when she did, because you can hear the thunder rolling in and it's starting to rain. So timing was perfect, and that'll be good because now that will rein the hay in and kind of settle it in place, is the plan theoretically, and then that'll stay put. This is inspired by, because it's certainly not the method, but it's inspired by a gardening method by a woman in the early 19th century, I want to say 20s, 30s, named Ruth Stout, whose goal was to come up with a way to garden that required the least amount of effort on her part. And so what she would do is she would clear a bed and then just lay the potatoes on top of the bed. Not bury them, not dig anything, just put them on top of whatever dirt she had there. and then cover it in a pile, a heaping pile, like a foot deep of straw. And when the leaves started poking up, put more straw on top of it until they were ready to harvest. Now, I'm late doing that. Now that I have a source for straw, next year I'll be able to do this earlier. And I'm so late doing it because the plants really were too high to cover them well at this height. Just fine. The straw will be good for mulch and decomposition there in the soil as it breaks down, even after I harvest the potatoes. The potatoes are starting to harvest, or starting to flower. So once they all flower and the leaves start dying off, then it'll be time to harvest it. So I don't know, I've got like 3 weeks to a month, I think, before I'll be starting to harvest the potatoes. Hopefully longer, because I am so late. I want to give them as much chance as possible to develop as many potatoes as they're going to. So the weather is being uncooperative for the rest of Deb and Nikki's visit. They're going home this afternoon. The worst of the storms, well, it is going to be storms. It's calling for thunderstorms until about 10 o'clock this morning, and then again late this afternoon. So hopefully by the time they've packed up and headed home, which will make me very sad, but if they don't go home, they can't come back to visit again. Things will settle down and I can get out and do some more work. I'm not sure what work I'm going to do. I'm kind of off my routine, and I have to start reassessing my priorities for the next week, especially since Thursday is 4th of July, and I will have an entire day off to do whatever it is I'm going to do around the farm. I do still need to get in and check on that queen in the hive. So hopefully it'll stop raining enough this afternoon that I can get in and see how she's doing. All right, let me get in and hang out with my friends and get some breakfast, and I'll see you folks in a little bit. All right, Nikki and Deb are on their way home. It was a lovely visit, and of course we took a last parting shot at buying even more books. But sometimes you need a book weekend. But I now have to spend the rest of the afternoon, well, it's after 6, so evening, doing some food processing. I've got to get those steaks done, and I've got 4 more quarts of strawberries I need to get at least hulled, and preferably get jammed. And there was one other, I got a bag of beautiful garlic scapes from my bee mentor's wife, Julie. So Julie, thank you very much for those. And I really want to turn those into a garlic scape pesto. I don't generally like regular pesto. I find the basil a little too overwhelming, but I'm eager to try it with the garlic scapes. And then if I have time, I've got fixings for a stir fry for dinner, but I don't know if I'll get to that. I may just make myself a sandwich or something. But let me get the cat off the counter and cleaned up and get started. We're going to start with the steaks and move down from there. Good morning. So it's back to normal life. The chickens are out. Something's cheeping in the woods, and I'm not sure what it is. I think it's probably a chipmunk because the cats are out, and he's not happy that they're out. But I need to get back on my grind. So I'm trying to stay focused on doing 3 things every day. And if anything else gets done beyond those 3 things, then I'll call it a productive day. Well, even if I just get the 3 things done. Today, so one of the things I want to do every day until it's freaking done is mulching the garden paths. They're getting very overgrown, and I need to nip that in the bud. So I've got to find my hoe and clean those paths up, and then I have some cardboard, so I have enough to start doing some of the paths. So that's thing 1. Thing 2, I need to start gluing down the linoleum in the chicken coop. I might be able to do the whole thing today, but it's supposed to be a little chilly today, so I'm not going to commit myself to doing all of it. But even if I just get half of it done, I'm going to do side by side. Even if I just get the half of it done, then I can finish the other half tomorrow, and it will be good. And thing 3 is the one that's kind of eluding me. I need to get into the hive and check the hive, but I'm worried that it's going to be too cold. So if it's warm this afternoon when I get off work, I'll go over and check the hive, and hopefully the queen is doing what she's supposed to be doing. I also have some plants that I picked up yesterday. I've got some replacement strawberries that I need to get planted, especially since they have lots of runners, and I want to get those planted so they have time to get established. And then once they do, I snip the runners, and then I have individual plants. So I bought 3 plants, and I'm going to get like 12 strawberries out of it, which will replace that garden pretty well. And then I start running into the mulching the trees and mowing the upper pasture, and I've got to fix the lawnmower because it's still tangled with the baling twine, and I've got to do this, and that's when it starts getting overwhelming, and then I just sit on the couch all day. So I'm going to mulch the paths. I am going to glue linoleum, and then I'll figure out my 3rd thing once I get those 2 things done. If I don't get those 2 things done, well, or if I only get those 2 things done, at least I got something done today. So that's how I'm going to get moving forward. All right, I got the chicks out. They're all fed. The cats are out. I don't know what they're doing, looking for something. And now I got to go feed myself and do my day job. And that plan went right out the window. I forgot it's July. And how the heck did it get to be July so fast? And I had an appointment to get the brakes on my car fixed this morning and forgot all about it, so I got to go spend most of the day sitting at the mechanics. So I am very behind on anything I was planning to do today. But the weather is lovely. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. So I am gonna do what I've kind of been dreading doing, and I'm gonna go check on my hives and see how that queen is doing. So let me get my gear on and we'll head out there. It doesn't look like it's better, but it's better because they're all at least up from their roots and they can just die there and they'll decompose under the mulch and feed the soil as the mulch, as the cardboard and the wood chips eventually turn into soil, and the whole cycle starts again, and all that stuff tries to grow up through all that work that I just did. It's all good. It's all part of the process. I think I'm going to go in and have dinner at a reasonable hour tonight. I've been acting like my mother and not eating until 9 o'clock at night, and that doesn't make me happy. And then if I have enough time, I think I'm going to run into town and see if I can get more of that ram board, because I'm definitely going to need it for these paths. And I got a couple of other things to return and to pick up, and any trip to a hardware store involves more than one thing. So. All right. I am probably not going to check in again tonight, so I will see you folks tomorrow.